Good evening, viewers. This is Krishna from Tycon Live. It's my pleasure to introduce you to Alex Vieux. He's the editor, publisher, and everything for Red Herring. And we're fortunate to get him today. He has just flown in from Middle East after attending a sovereign fund conference. Welcome, Alex.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
It's a pleasure to be here with Thai.
Happy to. And you've been a good patron and advisor and mentor to Thai members too. We appreciate that. You also had a very interesting session, panel, which you moderated, where a lot of good things came out. I'm sure you have a lot of fans, as I was mentioning to you now. My question actually begins with the ones you ended with. You said you were wishing luck to everyone. How do you make it?
Well, there is no question about the randomness of entrepreneurship. People really believe that this world of entrepreneurs is made by people who are brilliant and are so good and get organized. But there's a lot of serendipity about being an entrepreneur. You may remember that the two Google founders and Eric Schmidt went begging on a Saturday morning for money because they had to do payroll to Yahoo. And Yahoo made the biggest mistake they made. They gave them that money. And after that, Google went to go and swallow Yahoo eventually. And if that morning Yahoo had looked at them and said, let me buy you for $10 million or $2 million or $20 million, Google wouldn't be here and Yahoo would be Google. So you have to be lucky. You have to have the chance that somebody is going to make a mistake. And that's part of the thing. The second thing that is the second recipe is that you need absolutely to work extremely hard. The harder you work, the luckier you get.
Correct. Yeah. We have this famous Arnold Palmer's story also. You have, again, like most of us, have broad international experience. Of course, it's much deeper and wider. Is there any commonality in terms of the entrepreneurships that you've seen? What are the traits across the globe, across different races, which you feel would be the best practices for our entrepreneurs?
Whether you're in Chennai, Bangalore, Shanghai, Marseille, Stuttgart, or Plymouth, you have the same problem. You start with a dream, an idea which no one has, or you feel that no one has. You have to look at people, tell them that it's going to happen. And the more constructed your dream is, the better chance you have to make it work. Entrepreneurship is a very simple thing. You need to conceptualize your dream in your head so closely that when the day comes to implement it, you already had it manufactured. The real issue is when entrepreneurs have a half-baked idea of a half-baked dream. And that is where it doesn't work. You need to have a total dream of half-baked idea. That's a perfect thing. And after that, you can bake it. And it takes time.
So you've seen from the Valley perspective, most of it is technology. Now it's becoming clean tech. The entrepreneurs are technologists. They're not good in interpersonal skills, or neither negotiations is far off. And they're going to deal with
financiers who do that 20 times a year.
What do you tell them?
Well, first thing, it's like everything. If you go and fight an elephant or a tiger, you better start talking to many people who have fought a tiger before. Because if you don't, you're going to get swallowed. So you better have the chance to talk to 20 people who fought and killed a tiger and go and look for them and go and talk to people around the globe. Because you have only one life. So the same thing as an entrepreneur. If you go and start a company and you don't have enough skill sets to know how to approach those tigers, you're not going to make it. And that one thing people don't talk about is not the amount of people who get funding. It's the amount of people who never get any funding. And those are those people who get swallowed by the tiger.
Correct. Now, to look at the numbers, one thing which is very refreshing today was you probed. You almost chased the numbers out of some of the panelists. Those things are very hard to get. We could understand the broad spectrums. Any guidelines to our viewers as to if they're going there, what do they look at? If there's a,
two things. You have to decide if for you go there as if you were a surrogate Cisco employee, or you go there to make money. If you go as a surrogate Cisco employee, you go there and with the idea, that eventually you're gonna end up with 1 or 2 or 3% of the company. If you go there with the idea that you're gonna be really creating Salesforce.com, you start with a very different perspective. Mark Benioff will tell you, and I was a Series A shareholder, he went there with the idea that he wanted to make $1 billion for himself. You need to have an economic equation in your head. The same way you construct your product, you construct your economic outlook. I would never leave the red herring if God gives me the chance and the power and the energy until we make it $1 billion. Because the day I started it, I said, this is absolutely a 9-digit enterprise. You need to build the thing in your head. Don't go for small dreams. Small people go for small dreams. Big people go for enormous dreams.